2 months after Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta was re-elected, the leader has now announced his new cabinet. Among the names are 6 ministers in his former cabinet, which leaves the fate of the other ministers in the balance. The announcement comes less than a week since President Kenyatta made his New Year's address. In his speech last weekend, President Kenyatta said he would choose a cabinet that would help him in delivering his 4 key agendas: food security, affordable housing, manufacturing, and affordable healthcare for all. Kenyatta says he will name the rest of his cabinet in due course.
Over the next few weeks, I will be making further announcements to fill cabinet positions, to fill the positions of principal secretaries, as well as our sagas, as we continue to populate the government with those that will be charged with the responsibility of executing our agenda for the next 5 years.
Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta there. So what do these new appointments mean for East Africa's largest economy? Gabriel Mutuma joins me live in studio. He's a political analyst. Gabriel, thank you for joining us on Africa Live. Now, we do know that only 6 cabinet ministers have been named or have been retained from the previous cabinet, although, as the president has put it, this is just the first phase. What do you make of all this?
Thank you, Beatrice. Well, and you've put it very clearly. All the president has done, like you were talking earlier on, he's actually just appointed only 3 CSs. And if you look, I think he's gone really for people who can deliver. If you look at the people he's chosen right now, apart from the 6 that have been retained, you know, Matiang'i being one of them, you look at somebody like the former governor of Marsabit, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. This is somebody who had a very good track record until tribal clan politics came into play. If you look at somebody like John Munyes, you know, from Turkana, he was a former senator, somebody who had a very good track record within during the Kibaki administration when he was the Minister for Labor. And then you have, you know, DPP Keriako Tobiko, even though people have been sending banters at them, you know, saying, oh, all a sudden, all along, we've thought and we've actually said you are an errand boy for the government. I don't think that was a good move, but I mean, bringing Keriako Tobiko, I don't know the kind of narrative that the president is trying to play. But from what I'm, you know, just looking at what he's been able to bring in, and I know at one point our tribal politics will come to play, but what I'm liking is that the president sat down, and this is very deliberate. He sat down, you know, in 2013 with CVs, and he went on. You know, him and his team, they went through the CVs and they, you know, they picked people and said, these are the guys who we believe can deliver. This time around in 2017, just looking from yesterday, when people started talking that the CSS would be named, and right. Today I've noticed one thing. They've gone a step ahead. Not only are they looking at CVs, they are looking at the CSS that were there before. Did they deliver? And I think that may actually pan out to see who delivered in their ministry, who do we retain, who do we let go. So that I believe that will come to play.
All right. Well, the president, though, recently outlined his goals, his 4 key priority areas for his administration over the next 5 years. When you look at the makeup of his cabinet or the people who have been announced there by the president, do you see that this is a team that can achieve what the president is seeking to achieve?
It will only do so in one thing, if he goes for 2 things, for competency and people who can deliver. I mean, let's look at education as a case study with Matiang'i. This is somebody who has really brought in a lot of sobriety in our education sector. I mean, you're looking at overhauling the entire syllabus of 844 and bringing something that he feels, and majority of Kenyans have actually supported him with the kind of education syllabus that he's bringing in. So can it work, according to your question? I think it can. If he brings in people who are competent enough, people who understand the goals that he's talking about, namely healthcare. When you look at affordable healthcare, when you look at you know, food security, these are some of the things that we are actually going through that are making Kenya look like, you know, a basket case. When you're talking about manufacturing, this is something that we need. When you're talking about cost, bringing the power down, I mean, there are some of the few things that you need to bring people who not only will bring in good ideas, but those that will deliver. So yes, Beatrice, it can work if he appoints people with those 2 fields.
If you look back, though, and the president was inaugurated sometime in November, many would say that it has taken quite a while before the president names his cabinet, though. And he has said his list is not yet complete. When do we expect the full list of his cabinet to be unveiled?
Well, first of all, we all agree that it's been a deliberate move. But again, Beatrice, I mean, you know, in Kenya, like I told you earlier on, our tribal politics will come to play. How many slots do we have for CSS? You're looking at 22. You know, when you look at the tribal inclination in our country, you're looking at 40-something, you know, tribes that make our national fabric. So what does that tell you? Every tribe will be wanting, where is our man? Where is our woman? So I think the president here has to choose very wisely. At the end of the day, what he has to tell the Kenyan people, even though, you know, this is something that I know will come up, things like gender, they'll come in. You know, people already have taken onto the internet to ask, where is somebody like Amina Mohammed? This somebody who, you know, this was our Kenyan girl. This is somebody who put Kenya into the map. Are these people coming in? Are they going to be retained or not? So I think the president here has to shuffle a lot. And when the tribe comes into play, I actually feel sorry. Sometimes, you know, I've been asking myself, can we have another type of governance where we just say it does not matter who comes into play as long as they are able to deliver that which Kenyans really need? So the president actually, he has to do a lot of pushing and pulling to convince Kenyans, you know what, everybody is taken care of. But again, we have to wait and see. I mean, that's a huge number you're talking about. 12 CSS out in the, you know, waiting to dry or waiting to be brought in. That's a huge number. Beatrice, here we have to wait and see.
All right, it's a wait and see game for the moment. Gabriel Mutuma, thank you very much for your insights on the Kenyan cabinet.